Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be going over how you could have caught this short and predicted this drop here on ES and on NASDAQ because of a lot of different reasons, right? So let me get right into it. I shared here in my pre-market plan that I share every day on X that ES was at an area of resistance, and you can just see the very big difference between NASDAQ and ES. So let me start with ES. There was this major level of support that supported 3 single different times. Then that broke and that resisted 3 different times. We dropped a whole lot from that, and now eventually we break above it and we start supporting. But the difference is that NASDAQ had that same area. Here lows that get supported, we break down, and then we reject 3 different times and we drop. But NASDAQ has yet to be able to break above that and start supporting. So NASDAQ is still under that. NASDAQ still has not taken out these highs over here that we had taken out on ES. So that's a major divergence that shows weakness in the NASDAQ. And that's also very concerning to me, especially if ES is at another area of resistance, which is right here around the 6900, where it was rejecting in the pre-market already. So let's zoom in that a little bit and look why I also had another piece of confluence to look for potential shorts right on market open. So this is where I shared my pre-market plan, and I was like, NASDAQ is still not as high as ES and approaching that resistance level right before market open. Will be interesting if NASDAQ rejects this and ES potentially rejects 6900s. A sell-off could potentially occur, and I share this every day right before market open, as you can see. The other piece of confluence is on the footprint. So this is the S&P on the footprint right before market open. Here's market open, this footprint candle, but I just saw a lot of buying come in the pre-market, and as you can see, there's a bearish footprint bar here, 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 and here. So there's like eight or something of them, but on every single one of them there's a lot of buying at the high of those bars. As you can see over here, there's a lot of buying in these ones. There's a lot of buying green deltas at the top of these footprint bars, and over here as well, these two, and then this one over here as well. But every single footprint bar that has all this green delta at the top, they all close bearish. So that's already concerning to me. That's showing trap buyers at the highs. And again, on top of that, if you look at the CVD right over here, there's a lot of buying coming in, right? And this represents the cumulative volume delta for each footprint bar. So if this is a very big green candle, that means that there's a lot of aggressive buying in that single footprint bar. So there's supposed to be a lot of aggressive buying, but this footprint bar is closing bearish. What does that tell me? Well, there's a lot of passive sellers sitting at these highs because the buying is supposed to be there, and it was probably in there, but the passive selling was larger than the aggressive buying. So that's already concerning to me. This chart here of the cumulative volume delta is uptrending, which just means there should be a lot of buying in the market. Price should be going up. But if these passive sellers are bigger and stronger than all that aggressive buying, well, price is not going to move up and they're all going to get absorbed, which is what happened in this particular case. Knowing that all those pieces of context, why ES is at resistance, NASDAQ is still below resistance, there's a major divergence between the two indices, you have this divergence between price and the cumulative volume delta. Those are a lot of pieces of context to then look potentially for shorts as soon as market opens. So let me then show you what happened as soon as market opened. So market open is right here on the NASDAQ and on ES. Look at the difference. ES dropped a little bit but stayed right above this kind of short-term support here, and then started rallying up a little bit, but NASDAQ just fell straight off a cliff and didn't even pop up. It fell straight off a cliff, consolidated for a little bit, and then sold off even further. So I'm watching this in real time. ES is selling off, kind of supporting here, and then popping up with a lot of aggressive buying, which I'll show to you right now here on the book map. But it rejected today's open where all the sellers were, and rejected also this kind of market structure supply area, right? So we rejected here the 900s, then you have this rejection here of the 900s right over here, and then we created this area of consolidation where a lot of trap buyers were present. As you can see here on the footprint, a lot of trap buying here, all positive delta at the highs of the footprint bars, supposedly a lot of buying, but they all got absorbed by passive selling. So as soon as market opened, they were in pain, market sold off, we revisit that area. So we're going to be expecting those sellers that sold off on the market open, we're going to be expecting them to defend those prices again. So knowing that, let's jump right into the order flow and on the book map, and let's see that aggressive buying come in. And now we're just waiting for aggressive buying to come into the highs, to come into today's open, but we want to see them trapped once again. We want to see passive sellers trap all that aggressive buying once again, just like in the pre-market. So you see here, there's a lot of buying here trying to push price higher. For now, they're succeeding, but they're filling all of these offers right here. Offers, more offers here, another offer here. And now this offer here is kind of giving a reaction to price. So let me slow it down here. This offer here already gave a reaction to price, tried to break 3 times this offer, but it keeps rejecting price, staying there, and there's another one right over here at the 93. So this is very crucial to see that you want to see these offers fill. You want to see buyers dry out. You want to see big buyers here get absorbed and not able to push price higher above the high. Then as soon as they fail, they're unable to push price higher, you want to see that aggressive selling that happened right over here. You want to see that come in. You want to see this aggressive selling showing that aggressive sellers are still present and they're still wanting to short these levels and sell these levels with aggressiveness, not just passive. Then as soon as you see that, you have a confirmation already of, all right, I'm in the right area. The whole context is still bearish. NASDAQ's falling off a cliff. You know, all of that. You see all these offers getting filled. You see this final offer here at the top rejecting price like 3 times. And then together with that aggressive selling and stepping in, well, this for me is almost perfect confirmation to then wait for a pullback here, a pop to the upside, where I want to see weak to almost no buyers at all. So I can see that they're not excited anymore. They're not willing to buy at these prices anymore to push price higher above these highs and high day. And that's exactly what we're seeing right here. As you can see here on the book map, you see a lot of buying at the highs. They're getting absorbed by these offers. Selling is stepping in right over here. And on that pullback, you're supposed to see buying, but all we're seeing is red bubbles. So all we're seeing is buyers are not here anymore, and the sellers are very excited to sell these prices, and they're very strong as well. So as soon as you see this is like perfect confirmation to get in short here at the 90s, because there's literally no buying on this pop to the upside here. There's literally no buying. So you get in short here at the 90. So you're in short right here at the 90 with a 3-point stop loss here at the high, just above high day, 3-point stop. And let me go over targets first while we're in this trade. This is the pre-market here on ES, and you see yesterday had an area of consolidation here, which then pushed price higher up. So personally, I wouldn't target past this, but you have this little swing low over here that push price higher. I like to target these like kind of swing lows. I feel like they're kind of liquidity points and always want to be taken out. So this is my target here, the 77s. So you're in at the 90s. You're in with a 3-point stop up just above the high, and you're targeting 77s. That's just over 4-hour trade. That's very good. So now we saw the trap buyers at the highs. We saw aggressive selling coming in, and on that pullback to the upside, literally saw almost 0 to no buying. And then aggressive selling stepped in. We got in here at the 90s, and you're targeting 77. So let me speed it up a little bit so the video doesn't take ages. But this is just an overall clean analysis. Buyers getting excited, but they're getting rejected at today's open. You see them getting trapped at the highs. Aggressive selling steps in, and then on that pop, you see almost no buying at all. Like, look at it. Compare the size of this buying to this buying that pushed price higher in the first place. Literally no excitement at all to push price higher. And as soon as you see aggressive selling after that, that's your cue to get in. Then another piece of just not confirmation but extra confidence in the trade. Just look at how big this buying was here. You can see that on the volume profile right over here. There's a 4,000 lot buying at this price here, and that to me shows if this happens and they're not pushing price higher, that's extra confidence in my trade that there's passive sellers here absorbing all that buying, and then immediately they reject price. So now all these people that were buying over here, there you go. I just wanted to show that all these people that were buying right over here, where are they probably going to have their stop loss? I would probably say they have their stop loss right here, close to the low. So all these people that are buying right over here, especially these late buyers, and especially these guys over here, they're all going to probably have their stop loss at the low. So as soon as price is going down, they're all in drawdown and they're all in pain, they're all losing money. As soon as their stop loss hits, those are sell orders. So as soon as all these buyers here that probably have their stop loss below the low, as soon as they're in pain and their stop loss gets hit, that just gives extra fuel to our trade where we're in here at the highs in a short position, because when their stop loss hits, those are sell orders, and that just pushes the price further down for us. And there you can see we're targeting the 77s. And that's where our target got hit. Just a beautiful trade, took like 5 to 6 minutes. You're in here on after this pullback, seeing no buying, aggressive selling steps in. You're in at the 90s with a decent stop here above the high. And because the overall context, this short is just, it makes so much sense. And of course, you can go for a bigger target. You can go for here the 60s, but that would have taken you a lot longer. And also you have the risk of this area of consolidation supporting price and then pushing price higher back to your entry, which I personally don't want to do. I don't want to take that risk. I'd rather be in and out quickly. I don't want to sit in a trade for an hour. But this was the overall analysis. So there was divergence between NASDAQ and ES. There was divergence on ES in the pre-market with all these trap buyers and the cumulative volume delta. All the delta on the top of the footprint bars here, all of that buying just getting absorbed and not being able to push price higher. And then as soon as market opens, we dropped very aggressively. NASDAQ fell off a cliff right over here and was not even able to push price higher, stayed under VWAP, and then ES popped up, rejected around today's open, which was 91.25. And then you can see where we had our entry. There's just all that buying, got absorbed by all these offers sitting here at today's open. All those offers got filled, and this final offer here kept rejecting price. And as soon as you see that, just wait for that aggressive selling to step in. And on these pops that tried to go back above the high again, you want to see that lower high get placed. You want to see that weaker buying, compare this buying to all that buying that came up to the upside in the first place. And then you want to see that fail with aggressive selling after it, and you get in here at the 90s and going for a logical target, which is the 77s for me personally. So there you go. That's like a 4-hour trade in 5-6 minutes in the first 20 minutes of market open. If you enjoyed this analysis and if you have any questions about how I view the market or how I come up with these levels and make my pre-market plans over here, or how I analyze the order flow and the book map, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you or even make a video about it. And please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.